Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the MNSpiritCast, first one in 2 weeks. We're excited to be back. We've had a lot of things going on recently, but it is actually awesome to be back with you guys on this Wednesday night MNSpiritCast. Sorry, guys. Anyways, good to be back. Good to see everybody, and we do have an amazing show for you tonight. So let's bring on our co-host. Here is Lisa, our co-host and lead investigator, and here's Brandon, our cameraman, and our other co-host tonight. How's it going, guys?
Going good. How about you?
Not too bad. Excited to be back on here and hosting this show. It's going to be a good one tonight.
Markus, are you? Oh, now I can see Brandon. He was twirling.
Well, you froze for a minute, Lisa.
Yeah. So, okay, I just want to let everyone know right now, if Lisa gets knocked off, is because I have my spirited dolls that are talking like crazy, and they're trying to knock me off the internet because Mom lit up the K2 to red just a minute ago. So hopefully, if they don't knock me out tonight.
Well, before we bring on our
dude, I'm gonna be on my phone. I think
we're gonna have a maybe a little session tonight, so we can see what's going on with those things. Before we bring our guests on tonight, everybody, please welcome the man who was nice enough to jump on our stream. Hey, Matt.
Hey guys.
Band. Demonetized.
My show.
Well, it's been a while since you've jumped on our show. I mean, what's new? I know you're going to be in North Carolina tomorrow or on Friday.
Yes. No, I'm leaving in 10:30. I am leaving in just shy of 6 hours.
Okay.
So it's going to be about a 9.5-hour drive. We're leaving at 5 a.m. Just kind of getting some stuff done, but I couldn't miss an opportunity to come in and say hi to everybody. And of course, your guest tonight, got to give her crap too.
Absolutely. You know? Well, we do appreciate you coming on. Let's not keep her waiting very long. Everybody, you know her as Squeekers and the co-host of the ParaCast. It's Sarah Russell.
Hey guys, thank you for having me on here.
How are you?
Hi, Sarah.
Pretty good. Hi.
Tara is in the comments right now. Welcome.
Sorry, I'm sharing this everywhere.
So Sarah, how's it been in the paranormal world? I know you've been hosting the Paracasts on Wednesday nights. How's that going?
It's going pretty good. I never thought that I would get the kahunas up to actually be on camera, but I'm liking it and I'm feeling very comfortable, and I've met a lot of great people thanks to Matt and thanks to you guys, and I really like it a lot.
Absolutely, and that's awesome. I know you've been really building up that self-confidence of yours, which is amazing. Everybody, Rochelle is in the chat right now. Hello, Rochelle.
Hello.
Thank you for hopping on.
Hi, Rochelle.
So, Sarah, you decided to... Oh, everybody, before I forget, please welcome Brandon Crody. He is in the comments right now. Thanks for tuning in, Brandon, and showing your support. You have always been there. Much love to the Funhouse.
Absolutely.
By the way, Minnesota Spirit Hunters, more than just Lisa, will be featured on the Funhouse coming in June. So we're going to be in 2 states in June. We're going to be in West Virginia, and we're going to be in Maryland. So let us know what you guys want to see. I know we're going to have... What's up?
Both very drivable.
Yes. Yes, and you are invited, sir.
I didn't care if I was or not.
Thanks, Brandon, for coming by and taking time out of your busy day.
Yes, thank you. I know you're editing and stuff, and believe me when I say I believe, or I know what it's like editing. Guys, we got, let's see, today's Wednesday. We have 3 days before our next episode airs on Minnesota Spirit Hunters and ParaPost Network. And, I still got a little bit more work to do, but it's coming out phenomenal. And Brandon says, busy day and busy day tomorrow, but making time to come by to watch this tonight. Well, we
Thank
absolutely
you.
do appreciate you coming by and showing your support as always. And it's just going right back to you. You always got our support as well. So,
Much love to the Funhouse.
yes, absolutely. So Sarah, you are the founder. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. You are the founder of a team called I don't want to butcher this name, but it's called ParaVantoase, correct?
Yes, you can say
Okay,
Vantos or Vantos.
Right. Okay. So, you want to tell us a little bit about ParaVantoase?
Well, that means female spirit in the wind. And my cousin and I came up with that after we decided to pretty much disperse of my other group because there was so much problems. And you all can understand how problems can relate in groups and those kind of fun things that come with it. But decided to come up with that, and we've been having a little bit of a hard time trying to find more teammates over here in Washington, but I'm not giving up. So it's just been a bit of a journey.
Right. Absolutely.
The only thing is I'm not going to give.
So as far as your team goes, I know you said you've been thinking about starting up your first investigation. Any ideas of where you want to go?
Actually, it's not technically my first investigation. It would be for the group, ParaVantoase, but I'm actually going to be filming for the Spokane Hilliard Evergreen Cemetery, which is 14 acres long. And so, which is why I need a big team, because I can't do that all by myself. And I already know what's out there. Sometime throughout this year, hopefully towards the summertime, because it is a forest and it's got sand and ash and everything else up there. So if I go during the wet times, I know we'll sink. So
right. Wouldn't want to have your foot too far in that ground.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting stories about that area too that come with the territory, and one of them I cannot release because it will just cause a bunch of problems. But the other one that I can release is that there was supposedly 3 witches burned in a cave out that way. I have yet to find it, but I'm going to try and find it one of these days.
Okay.
That's on my bucket list for that area anyway. But other than that, at the moment, we've been thinking about a few different areas, but right now the cemetery is kind of on our minds for filming.
Awesome. And you're thinking maybe beginning, middle of spring?
Yeah, we might go out there and do a couple mini runs just to see, because I'm getting a couple meters and things from a friend of mine, and so I might go out there trying to test it,
right,
just to see, but not much right now on the list. Unfortunately, I'm trying to get back in the saddle, but where I come from, I'm in a big Catholic town, so it's not easy getting things, and we've also got a couple other teams, so it's really hard for competition wise, which isn't really competition, but you know how that is too.
Oh, so. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so and it does take a minute to get started, especially when you have to completely start over, get back on your feet in the field and get the ball rolling again. Just getting the ball rolling can take a while.
It does, and the group before, I had so much problems with a few individuals, we won't get into that, but my other friend and I, we were starting it back up and getting it ready, and then he passed away suddenly, unexpectedly, after an investigation.
Aww.
And I just haven't been able to get back up on my feet. It's been so hard.
Right. No, that's totally understandable. for one, you got our support 100%. We're always here, got each other's backs. So always feel free to reach out if you ever need anybody, because we're always here. So
Thank you. I
well,
appreciate that, because I'm still
absolutely.
learning a lot of things too. So
Absolutely. And guess what? He's lurking. He's here and he's lurking.
hi, Carlos. Hey, everybody.
Squeaky Queen.
Queen, huh?
Yes.
That's different.
Is there
How
something
are
we
you
don't
getting
know,
that
Sarah?
name there, Sarah?
Is there something we don't know?
Oh, it's all good fun and games.
Yeah, okay. We'll be talking after the show, okay? And then, yep, Miss Liz right here, which you can catch on this show next week. Really big supporter, saying hello to everyone. So, yeah, you can catch her here next week. But Sarah, tonight is your night, and we want to solely focus on you tonight and get you out there and just kind of let everybody know, what you're about in the paranormal field, what's coming up, and all collaborations and all that kind of stuff. So, first of all, how did you get started in the paranormal field?
Well, I've always had, my mom always said that I had spirits around me since I was a kid. And I also, I just started noticing that I was a bit different by the age of 10. And I couldn't understand certain things happening, and I didn't have anybody to really explain it to, because back then things just weren't talked about. My house is throwing shit. Sorry.
Well, show us.
No, because my living room's trashed. I've had kids over, and there's glasses everywhere. And
yeah, I haven't seen nothing.
I know. Well, I don't exactly know where that was, but I just heard something really weird. That's weird. Anyway,
Spirits are talking, Sarah.
Yes.
That's why I went on mute, because I'm the only one in my living room, and there's stuff being thrown in the kitchen, and there's no cats out here and no kids out here.
Yeah, see, that's when it's freaky the most, I think. And even I get scared sometimes, but only because of when I slam my doors. But that's another story.
Right. Yeah, no, go ahead.
It's okay. But I've had different weird, odd things happen throughout my entire life, and I've lived in a couple haunted houses. I keep talking about one from down at the river where we used to live, and that was extremely haunted, and I experienced a lot of things there that I still to this day cannot understand. But I think that comes with the territory, because that's what unknown means, and that's what we're all shooting for, is the evidence of the unknown. So
Exactly. If I could just say something really quick, in this field, in this paranormal field, it's phenomenal, because even people that are not even associated with paranormal or anything, I always have people sending me Facebook posts, tagging me in posts about really haunted places. Like, as we speak, I just got another one here about, I found this on Newsbreak. Wisconsin is home to one of the country's most haunted places, and you can tour it. So that's a really interesting topic, but I love how the word's getting out, because even people that are not associated with any of this have been showing me, haunted places for us to get into, which, Sarah, eventually I would love to collaborate with you and go on an investigation with you. That would be actually very cool.
That would be awesome. I would love it, because there's quite a few places around here. And a few I'm not going to name out, because there are spots that I'm just picky about, but I'm sure other people go there. But
yeah,
there are a couple areas that I like to take a few people to, because I know a few things, and great tricks on the
Here's the thing. In the paranormal field, you stumble across some people that are not believers, because they don't. It's not necessarily because they don't believe ghosts are real or paranormal is not real.
Yeah.
But it's based on their religion, whether they are Catholic or Baptist or whatever, some people have different beliefs, and that could take a part in their beliefs of the paranormal, so if somebody owns something, a place, and it may be haunted, they may look at it a different way. And when a ghost hunter comes their way and asks to investigate, they're going to look at you like you're crazy because they don't want any of that,
Yeah.
Exactly. And especially if they know the team likes to joke around a lot too, sometimes that might throw it off. But we got to have fun, if we're not hurting anything, it's okay to have fun with it.
For sure.
That's how I think about it anyway.
Well, see, there's this place in Minnesota, and Lisa, it's where we did our last photo shoot over in what's that town called? Graston, where we did our last photo shoot. And so it's called the Graston Consolidated School. So technically right now it is an office that has a church right next to it. But before, this used to be a giant consolidated school. And this church had burnt down, and it had killed a lot of people. And
Wow.
it has a backstory that a lot of people would not believe. And I found out about this before, and I went in there and I talked to the priest or the pastor, whatever, because his office is in this school. And I walked in there, and he's like, the only ghost we necessarily believe in is the ghost of Jesus. And see, that's the thing, because I came at him looking for paranormal spirits, ghosts, entities, whatever I could find. I was there to find whatever I could find. But he kind of looked at me like I was crazy, which I didn't know, that's all they believed in. But it was worth a shot to ask. That's all you can do. I went in and I asked, can we investigate? What are your rules based upon that? And, if you're not Christian based and you don't believe in God or anything like that, that's the only spirit that they want to be associated with.
A lot of churches do think that way. And it's hard because even with with me being pagan, I was actually baptized Catholic in 2001. And then I kind of decided that wasn't really technically all for me. But and I won't get too far into the religion talk just because I know how some people are. But I used to go and get holy water from the churches. And one time we went and we thought that the church might have it because it was a Catholic church. Went up there and they didn't have any. And so the priest came out and was asking us what we were doing on the property. And I was like, well, and he was like, oh, and just the look on his face was just, I was like, okay, that's a touchy subject with him. Let's just thank him and go, because I didn't want to upset the guy either. And
right. Well, here's the beautiful thing about it is, when after I talked to this pastor of the church, the reason that we still go there and we take photos and kind of explore a little bit on the outside is because, he looked at me and he's like, you seem like a person who's got your stuff together. You know what you're doing. Feel free to explore outside. As long as you're not trying to damage any property or break in or this or that, we won't have a problem. So I basically did not get permission to do an investigation. However, I got permission to explore the outside, use it for a photo shoot whenever I need to, and all of that. So that is the good thing about it. He wasn't upset that I went to him. It's just the fact that he only wants stuff associated with church, which is, I completely respect that. I do not go against that. And I'm not mad at him for saying no, It was worth a shot. I took my chance. And
exactly.
That's all I could do. So.
Because there's always different places you can go to, and it's another day.
Well, and that's the thing, after, when I asked this guy if we could investigate, I literally had no places in mind. I didn't know where we could investigate. And Lisa, this is before any of you guys came on the team. This is way before. Well, now I look back on that day and I'm like, I never thought we would get to where we are, because we've went to giant places like Edinburgh Manor, the Boyd House, which is really known for paranormal teams in Minnesota now, and all kinds of places. So, you know, all you can do is keep pushing forward.
Exactly.
You know, have that mindset of, this is where I want to be and this is what I want to do, and don't look back and don't give up on your dream, because Lisa here had given me a pep talk because I wanted to quit and I wanted to get rid of Minnesota Spirit Hunters after the baby was born. And, you know, I called Lisa. I'm like, listen, this is your team now. I'm giving it up. And Lisa's like, all right, listen here. And that's how it all started. And that's why I'm still here.
I do that a lot for people.
Yeah.
I do that a lot.
Yeah. So Lisa's like, listen here, like, you have built this foundation. And, you know, since Lisa got on the team, we've worked on this team together. And, you know, we've just been putting one foot in front of the other and just keep moving forward. And, you know, after I had that talk with her, we had not a lot to show for, you know, because no investigations, no plans for investigations or anything. After I got this talk from Lisa, I'm like, all right, time to step up. Let's get going. Let's get some stuff done. And here we are with, you know, our 5th episode about the air. You know, we're midway through season 2 of this show. You know, and we already got plans for season 3. And so, yeah, I mean, Lisa's pep talks, you can't go wrong with those.
No, exactly.
It depends, you know. When I know it's somebody's dream, you know, like Sarah, if you'd come to me and say, you know what, I'm going to give up my gifts, I ain't going to use them no more, it sucks, you know, but people are talking down about me, I wouldn't want you to do that. And so I would talk and work with people, because when it's your dream of some sort to do something in life for a foundation and give up what you dream, I believe you shouldn't do it. Push forward no matter how hard it's going to be. But also the support. It's also the support, though, because if you don't have the support from the people working with you or around you, it's not going to work. You know,
it's not going to be as fun as you want it to be.
No, and it is tough out there. It's tough out there for everybody.
Yeah, and
it really is.
That's the thing. When I talked to Lisa, you know, about giving up the team, in my head, I'm like, you know, this is minutes after the baby was born. I saw the baby. I'm like, I'm done. I want time with her. I don't want to do this anymore. And then, you know, when I called Lisa and we talked about it, she's like, what's your dream? And I'm like, I want to get on TV. I want Minnesota Spirit Hunters to have its own show. And, you know, we talked and we came up with this plan of the whole team kind of putting a foot in, helping me with this and that, and all that, so that we can fulfill that dream that I started Minnesota Spirit Hunters on. That's what we want to base this team off of. And ever since then, I've had that dream up here, and I haven't let it go. You know, and I have a whole season 2 planned out of a bunch of investigations that we're going to do, just because, you know, I want to keep the flow of what we're doing afloat. You know, I don't want to let anything drop. I don't want to lose anything, you know. So that's the thing. You just keep moving forward and you don't give up.
That's it. There's always going to be.
You have to understand too is you're trying to build your team in Washington, right? And even though it may seem that there are just like nobody's coming forward or a small amount of people, eventually you are going to run into that one that is going to support 100% and keep you motivated. But it takes a long time to find those types of people. Hello, Raina.
It does. It really does. I do have a few in mind at the moment, but I got to get together with them and figure some things out. Hi, baby girl.
Well, if you ever need support with interviews and need someone just to kind of be on there with you, I can be right there.
I do, because with what happened to me this last year, I don't trust people very often, especially in my own home. I I have a really, really, really bad trust issue with that. So
One thing though is we talk about this not on live, but we push through that. But yeah, just reach out to us. Know that any of us are here to help, support, and stuff like that. So
and
I'm going to states now. Come on.
And that's the thing though too that people need to understand is if you're trying to set up a team, make sure it's people that are trustworthy, because I can tell you some stories I've been through and people would just drop their mouths. I mean, and I gotta be careful with it because certain people are still in the paranormal community that have done me wrong, and not like you guys know half of certain things, but not that situation, but other situations, and it's just it can be a nightmare sometimes, and so that's why I have not been able to find other people outside of my family that I trust, and because my cousins have tried and they still want to, but it's been a hard year for them, and my other cousin, she wants to as well, but she doesn't want to be out there by herself, and just us two in the cemetery, two females in the cemetery is not very safe. So
it's not right.
Yeah, you definitely want to have like a male with you for sure.
Yeah, and
Why?
I could tell you a couple Halloweens ago, I think it was in 2019. Yeah, 2019, I think it was. My older group and I went out there, and we actually got the car stuck in an area that we weren't even supposed to be. And I had jumped out of the car to try and push it. And when I got out, it was funny, we found nothing but underwear all over these trees. And I'm like going, and I won't repeat certain things on Markus's show, on your guys' show, but I don't know. And I was like, this is straight out of a slasher
We have
movie.
really good imaginations too, so.
Yes, yes, I did. And so I always carry a knife on me, and the first thing I did was like whip my knife out, and my friends are all laughing their butts off at me. They're like, what are you going to do with that thing? But I'll never forget it. And that's what I'm like, you got to be careful about anything out there in the woods and anywhere that you go, because you just never know what's going to pop up around the corner that's not paranormal.
Well, Sarah, that reminds me of something before, like, Brandon or Lisa or anybody that I have now even got on the team. I had a total different team, and the only person that's on the team now that can back me up on this would be our medium named T. Because she was there with us. But there's this cemetery that we are featuring in season 2 of our show, and it's in a town called Bram, Minnesota, right probably 30 minutes from here. And we were there, and we were doing kind of a teaser episode before season 1, episode 1 came out. Well, we were there, and we got done with our investigation. We were walking back to the car and everything, and we found this kind of... Actually, Gabriella, the one in the comments right now, I believe she was with us. Because she used to be on Minnesota Spirit Hunters. She may have been with us. She might not have been there that day. However, the story is that, we found one thing, and I believe it was a torn up little boy's t-shirt. And then, we kind of started digging from there and seeing what else we could find. And then we found pair of underwear. And then, like I said, we kept looking, and, we kept finding little things that was putting in our head. Like, we found a bunch of clothes for a little boy that were all laying there, kind of all on the same little wall of dirt. It looked like they had been there for absolutely tons of years, because they were all hard and they were, dusty and torn up and all that. But when we went to this investigation, see, Gabriella was with us. She remembers this. She could back me up on it. There was a pop can, underwear, shirt, all of that, and it was all torn up, and it looked like we were discovering a little boy was found there at one point. But the weird thing is that when T figured all of this out, she figured out there was a little boy there, and that's who the soul reading that she was getting from this cemetery was this little boy.
Wow.
And then we ended up finding little boy's clothes, which is the weird part.
That's weird. See, stuff like that kind of, I don't know if it's necessarily the paranormal that kind of creeps me out at times, whereas just weird things like that kind of, it's like, what the hell?
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So, Gabriella remembers that, and I remember like it was yesterday because it was great evidence that we found on top of what we discovered during the investigation with all the spirits communicating with us, which was the phenomenal part.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the thing though. When you go out on investigations, you got to be ready for anything because you just never know. Finding anything or the unknown in general. And
well, the weird part was too, at the very end we discovered that it wasn't a little boy at all, it was a little girl. So
oh wow,
but anyway, off to the subject because we'll be talking about this forever because
we can.
So what is it like being the co-host of Wednesday Night ParaCast? Who all have you interviewed yet? And I know you're trying to build up that confidence of yours to be on camera a little more.
Interviewed quite a bit of people. We did Sundown today, the second interview, which was awesome because I finally got to meet them. And then we did what was the other ones? My mind is just going wing.
Yep, perfect.
But there's been quite a few, and I've grown to. I'm at that stage where I'm like, okay, let's do this and this and this and that, and I'm just really excited for it. It's a good adventure for me to be on to try to get my self-esteem up and everything else, and that's what it has been doing. So
good.
That's good.
I think that's funny.
I know. I'm excited for one of the episodes in season 2.
Oh yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about.
Might as well disclose.
The
I think
small
I've been
one
excited
by
about
Isanti.
any of
the what?
There's a small cemetery by Isanti.
That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I went there before I joined Minnesota Spirit Hunters, and we got a ton of evidence when I went there with just me and my wife and one of her friends, and I can't wait to see what we get for being there for hours. You know what I mean?
And when you guys went to that cemetery, you had equipment and everything, but when you bring a whole slew of paranormal investigators with, they're gonna say, "Holy crap!"
Yeah.
Because
Hopefully
they're going to be feeding off like there's going to be so many of us there, and they're going to be like, what do I do now? Because there were only 3 of you, but we're going to come in looking like freaking Ghostbusters, so they're all going to run, they're going to be ready for us. I know that. So
oh yeah.
Lisa, you said you're not excited for any of the episodes.
cemeteries, man. I have my reasons.
I know.
I'll discuss those.
Well, I'm really excited.
But I think I'll be okay now after was it December? I think it was. If there's a delay,
Right.
I'm sorry, guys.
Well, guys, we might as well answer Gabriella's question. Who are we going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Spirit Hunters. That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, I'm mostly excited about. I think it's season 1, episode 6, or season 2, episode 6, and that is in a different state. I'm not going to disclose much because I don't want to get anything out there before it's ready to go. So, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And Carlos says, Squeekers did great. She came a long way. We motivate each other and support each other with Matt in backstage.
Thank you, Carlos. Yes, Carlos and Matt have become 2 of my great friends now too. So I'm really excited to be able to get to know them and to be able to get to know you guys. And I'm really very excited for the friendships and more friendships on the way. And it's a unbelievable experience, and I'm very happy and excited to be a part of it.
Exactly, and we only keep moving forward, and you meet new people every day, and some of these people that you meet may not like you, or you may not be comfortable with them, but then you meet the people that are absolutely phenomenal, like everybody that we associate with right now. We've came a long way in this past year, because 2021, we met everybody that we know now, and it's just been a great year so far. So it's been great.
I think I've known you guys since November.
I think so.
November of last year. I think November,
so.
December.
I think
And
earlier.
This comes back to the whole unity thing. That's solely what the P3 program is based on. It's the friendships that we make and the bonds that we create, and it's based on nothing but that. And it's drama free, stress free, and we got each other's backs, and we don't backstab, and we help each other. So that's the whole thing about the P3 program. So
I think
exactly.
Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
Nope, you're good. I have I don't have it per se, but I have an ADHD mind, and so sometimes I'm like, so I apologize.
I think eventually we'll probably be able to get out your guys' way.
That would be awesome. I would enjoy it, because I need a lot of help with that cemetery, and I know there's a few people that keep trying to hit me up here from a couple other groups, and I'm okay with that, but I know that I need a few more, and that would be awesome if you guys could come join me, because I need a lot of help with it. And I know the Cemetery Association would be grateful for it as well, because they're trying to get some funding in there. It needs a lot of help, but they need a fence to go around it, and because right now there's only a half a fence. And it's been getting vandalized and everything else, and it just needs a lot of help.
Right. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, guys.
So, okay. So, speaking of the P3 program, explain your thoughts on this program. What are your thoughts on the P3 program?
I like it a lot, because there are let's face it, everybody's different. Which means every team is going to be different with what they want to do and how they perceive things. And with all the paradrama that does go on in the paranormal field, I just think it's a wonderful idea to be able to meet new people and to not have that be a part of it. Because we've all got enough drama in our lives. We don't need that in something that we're wanting to take part in and have fun with.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, and couldn't have said it better myself. Sorry, trying to be a little quieter because she's trying to get the baby to bed. So
yeah, I kind of caught on to that.
Right. So, in your opinion, while we're on the subject, in your opinion, what is your meaning of para-unity?
Friendships, basically friendships, and communicating with all teams, of course, and being able to basically share the same dream. I mean, and that's what it's for, because it's not just for one person; it's for everybody. It's paranormal. I mean, it's not school. It's not a business. Well, it can be a business, but you guys know what I mean. It's more so a hobby than anything else. And it should be treated as such. And hobbies are supposed to be for everybody.
Absolutely.
And on top of that, positivity goes a long way. So, I mean, that's one of the best things about the P3 program as well.
Couldn't agree more. And it's It's phenomenal. It's a great program, and season 3 of Minnesota Spiritcast is based solely on the P3 program, so we all can get on, Minnesota Spiritcast. We can explain our feelings about the P3 program and what each team is about, because people that are outside of the P3 program, they may not know who everybody is. So that's the thing. We want to get on there. We want to show everybody this is who we are. We're part of this program, and this is our intentions within the paranormal field, within the program, just kind of showing everybody who we are. So it's going to be a great season of Minnesota Spiritcast. Brandon says, great show. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Carlos says, grow each other, support each other, motivate each other, and build each other up too. Good.
Yep.
Good. Love that. And then
Absolutely.
Gabriella, you've been good. You've been great in the comments tonight. Appreciate that. And then Aaron says, build each other up, share notes, and work together. And that is good. Couldn't have said it better. That is what the P3 program is. That is what we are. So, and then Liz, absolutely. Para-unity. All right, guys. Well, while we're on this subject, I'm going to take a short intermission and play the P3 video. And then when we come back, I'm going to have Lisa and Brandon, as my co-hosts, take the show over for a few minutes and kind of ask you some questions that they may be curious about. So, well, everybody, we're going to take a short intermission. Please enjoy the Paranormal Partnership Program promotional video. That's a lot of peace. We'll be back. back. How was the break?
We are back.
Pretty good.
Well, if you're at Lisa's house,
It's
it's crazy here.
I believe it. I believe it.
Are you guys
and
getting a
Gabriella
delay
says,
from me or something?
What's
A
that?
little bit once in a while.
Are you getting like a delay? Because like I'm trying to find out like what the hell is going on.
A little
A
bit.
little bit
yeah.
once in a while, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Well, Gabriella says, I have to say, working on Marcus's team was really fun. I was not expecting that, but made it easier. You know, we really enjoyed having
wasn't
you
expecting
on
that.
this team. It was a lot of fun working with you. And you know what? You have your own team now. You ever want to collaborate? Give us a call. We're always willing. So, and Jason says, okay, I'm back. It froze on me. It's happening
Just
to the
imagine.
best of us tonight.
Right?
All right, Matt, Brandon, and Lisa.
Be careful what we say tonight.
You're good.
I'm a female. The heck? Matt? What? Matt looks like Lisa.
All right, Brandon and Lisa, it's your show now.
What's up?
Have a good night, Marcus.
Oh my God, Brandon, what should we talk about with,
I'm staying on.
Squeekers?
Okay, good.
I think, honestly, I think
Over.
one of the things that makes it the easiest about being a part of a good team is that everyone around you works well with everyone else. And I mean, you know, the investigations are all fun and everything, but it's the fact of that you can still talk to the people and you can still get along with everyone, even outside of the investigations. And it helps everything.
100% agree. Because if you don't have that communication, it's going to throw everything off and you're not going to be able to get things done that you want to do. And that's the hardest part about it, because I've been on one team that I was trying to do. Actually, all my teams have been like family, and then something comes up and destroys it, and it's just very hard.
I don't think you can have.
Do you have any questions, Brandon, you want to ask Sarah, or?
What is the hardest part? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, this isn't my show. I have nothing to do with this.
What is the hardest
Marcus
part
is
that
in
you
here.
have found about doing investigations?
The hardest part, probably not having the tools to do the things that I want to do. I know that everybody says, well, you don't necessarily need all those tools, but there's been times that when I'm on an investigation and I hear something, I can't prove it because I don't have that certain tool, and it's very frustrating. On top of that note, I am trying to get the tools back that we once had, so that's on the plus side. It's still going to take me a little bit. The other thing is trusting the person that you're interviewing and you're doing things for, because if you don't know everything that's going on inside their home business or the area that you're going to, it can really screw things up.
Yep.
And I've had that happen once before, and it really makes a mess of things. And that's another reason why I say be careful of blessing houses if you don't know, because you can screw it up.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
even I
absolutely
don't know
can.
it all. So
Who does? Nobody, nobody does. We all learn. But one thing, Sarah, is one thing that it hasn't been mentioned tonight is, why don't you kind of talk about the gifts that you have and kind of how those work?
well, I consider myself an empath. Now, a couple people said that I might be a medium, but I'm still learning about that kind of stuff as well. So before I got told that, I consider myself more of a Hyoki empath, which means I can smell, taste, hear, I can see, and I can communicate. Each spirit that I have come across is a little bit different because, of course, we're all different. So why should that be any different as self? But I have had some of the strangest communications with spirits. I think I brought this up on Matt's show the other night. One of the last places that I went with Brian James's group, I ended up passing out on the job. And it was mainly because it was just complete sadness. And that's part of, I've found out recently that that's part of the empath gift, is that sometimes that can happen because I'm taking in so much emotions and I don't know how to handle it. And so I've been learning how to ground myself and how to handle it. But in the same token, I'm not, how do I put it? I'm not a Hollywood magician. I can't control that permanently. So anything can come about and happen on an investigation. So I'm just going to flat out put it out there. If I do investigate with anybody, just to know that some things might happen. And if that happens, just do the right things and try to get me out of it, and vice versa. Because honestly, none of us know how to deal with that. So
when you say, Sarah, when if you're investigating with someone and that happens to you, what would be the best way to help you out of those things? Because we might not know exactly how to help you in those moments.
Well, the way that I came out of it the last time, they put a cold washcloth on the back of my neck, and that kind of spiked it like an anxiety. When you have an anxiety attack and you need that moment of shock, that kind of helped me a bit with it. It literally felt like I was floating on air. Like I could hear people, but I couldn't like concentrate or wake myself up out of it. It was the most interesting thing I've ever been through.
Is it kind of similar? Because what you're describing, is it kind of similar to what you might go through with flashback? Is it similar to something like that with some of those grounding skills that somebody could apply?
Yes, I would consider it kind of like a flashback, but not necessarily, because it's almost, because I've had those before, and I passed out on the stairs, and I've had flashbacks mainly at my cousin's house back in the day, but it was kind of different because it wasn't like, I don't know, I couldn't hear anybody during that time, but I could sense things and I could actually see things, and it's really hard to explain, and I don't want to sound like I'm completely crazy, but it's really, really hard to explain. And I wish
just
that
imagine
I
all
would
the dolls I have, what people think. I have more comments, by the way.
Right. I wish that I would have kept a journal throughout my entire life, because then I could read back and compare notes and do that. And that's why I tell people, if you feel like you have these gifts, to do that, because then you can investigate and go back and forth.
And you can start a journal now, you can start a journal at any time of your life and just go from there. And even things that you remember in your past, you can add to that journal and say, these are my thoughts, or this is what has happened before. And then you can actually still compare those for the journaling that you do moving forward.
Exactly. And yes, Erin, I agree with that. It is kind of like a battery draining. It literally feels like just every emotion is being sucked out of me. And I've been in so many situations because I've had so much death in my family, and I don't want to get too far into that because certain people might be watching, and I don't want to upset them. But during certain times, I've had to excuse myself because I have felt that energy and I have felt that drain, and it's like, having to try to explain it is not always easy. Because for one, I'm very nervous when I speak, because I'm just now getting used to speaking to everybody.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of speech class, when you have to like talk in front of everybody and you're like freak out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how I am too. even just being on the
Yeah.
screen, I'm not exactly in the same room with you guys, but I'm like going,
Mhm. I know
on
the
the inside.
That's what makes me
first time I was on the
question
podcast, I was a little nervous about it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And
the
I
thing
don't
is,
think that
you
that's
just have fun.
exactly,
Just
and
have
I
fun
don't
with
think
it.
that's necessarily all an empath thing. I think that's a human nature thing to be nervous and
Yes.
stuff like that too. But
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely. So Erin actually still had a question in the comments here, Sarah. So she asked, do you have any protection methods yet?
I do, but as far as this goes, I have not perfected one yet. I do use certain boundaries and spiritual boundaries in my own home because I'm really picky with the energy that goes on here. And that because we've had some bad years where it's just been constantly negative energy, and it's like if I don't put those boundaries up, that's what happens, and it's like it just can be really, really chaotic.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely have to put boundaries up, you know, and some people I think out there, when you talk about boundaries, when you have boundaries of spirits, and people are like, what are you talking about? Why would you do that? Well, they're going to come and invade you everywhere, you
Yeah,
know, while you're
and
asleep.
energy
Well,
in
I have ones that
general.
wake me up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when
And if
you
you don't
live,
tell them that boundary, it can get really intense. You won't get sleep. You won't feel well. And then you're going to be like, dude, you're going to go somewhere and they're going to be like at the store with you, you know?
my fiance, he's kind of a skeptic, but since he's been with me, he's
Okay.
noticed a few things. And if I start yelling out of nowhere, he's like, oh no, because he knows what's going on.
Here we
And
go.
yep, exactly. And a lot of times it's usually my dog will tell me what's in the room too, because she'll start barking at nothing and look around the room and start going crazy. And I'm like, leave my damn dog alone.
Yep.
And if she
Yeah, it
stops
can
it, I
get
know it
crazy.
listens. Yeah.
Right.
But I'm sure my neighbors think I'm completely nuts.
Hey, you know what? It doesn't matter, you know, what anyone thinks about you, as long as you feel confident about yourself and the people that support you and surround you is all that matters.
Exactly.
No.
And that I'm learning. And it's very, very hard to learn that because I've been, and you wouldn't think our generation would, but I know myself, I'm the same way. I get really nervous about what people think and what they're going to think about me. But in general, you know, I was born before Google, people. I don't care anymore what people think.
For Google.
My
What is
nephew
that?
still
What
doesn't get
is
that
that other stuff? AOL that came out before?
I remember when there wasn't any internet.
Right?
That too. I remember growing up. Trying to go to my friend's house, and I was like, "Wouldn't it be really cool to be able to like call your friend on the way there?" Because every time I went to my friend's house, I had to go walk 6 more blocks back home. You know, and
Or
now look, you know,
watching
you call
Inspector
people and talk to
Gadget.
people. Yeah,
Exactly. And watching Inspector Gadget with Penny with her little book thing. I always wanted one of those. And now we got him.
Yep.
absolutely.
I know, I'm a dork.
So Sarah, so what else? So you have some upcoming stuff happening this weekend. How are you feeling about that? And we can share a little bit with people and what's going on to kind of get that advertisement out there a little bit.
I got to remember the name of the ship because I don't want to torture it. Do you remember the name? North North Carolina, I think it is. Don't clever me that.
It is the USS North Carolina.
Thank you.
We're butchering
the
it right
USS
now.
North Carolina.
Not here.
We're doing pretty much an all-nighter show on that. I can't remember all the names at the moment that are going to be on there, but I think Markus is going to try to be on there.
Mm-hmm. By the way, really quick, I do apologize about scamming the comments here, but I am posting up promotional codes for everybody to view for all of our platforms. So please excuse me not being on, but this is Brandon and Lisa's show at the moment. I will see you guys in a little bit, but I am going to
Can we rename it the Brandon and Lisa show?
No,
Yeah.
sorry, but no. But yeah, but
I
yeah,
think the boss made that.
all right, guys. Well, you have fun. I am here. I am still moderating and still got
Talk
my
about
support.
Markus
I
when
am
he's
here.
gone.
So
What do you think about the founder of Minnesota Spirit Hunters?
I think he's a pretty cool guy. I think he's very funny. I think all of you guys are very funny.
You just know he's in the comments. Come on.
Let's see if I can find my camera this time. Yep.
So before we got interrupted on our show, so yeah, so the battleship. That's what
Yep,
we're you're going to be doing live investigation, checking in with teams.
Yep.
Markus and I and Carlos. Also, we're all going to be working together to do some of those lives. We're checking in with quite a few teams out there. I know Jonathan from Crossover Paranormal is already near there, staying at a hotel. So it is going to be fun. So anyone that is listening to our live and stuff tonight, stay tuned for Friday. We'll be going live throughout the night. The investigation piece will start at 10 p.m. We'll go 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern time. It could go later if they're getting some really cool hits and evidence and anything going on. We'll get the links out there. Sarah and I will be hosting the show, and then Markus and Carlos will be there with us also. So there's gonna be quite a few hosts and stuff tonight, and it's gonna be really cool because there's quite a few teams out there.
Yep, it's gonna be professional and a little bit funny here and there. You're gonna see a lot of stuff. You're probably gonna be like, "What in the world?" But that's us. That's what we're all about.
Can you just start playing on the screen like this? Like, I got your nose and hair.
I know, right? I know. You want to see? You want to see what I got it propped up on?
Nice.
It's popped up because I broke my laptop. It fell off the table.
Oh no!
And the screen like all went funky.
Now, you're not supposed to do that, Sarah.
No, not at all. So I'm on my tablet, and the tablet doesn't really. When you got a big face like mine, it doesn't really do you justice because it makes you look like the
You're
Marshmallow
just fine.
characters.
You are just fine.
That's okay. My laptop's propped up on my son's tablet, so
I was kind of on my table, but then I have these sturdy, what do you call those? Like dinner trays or whatever. I was like, I might as well just prop it up on there. Normally I'm on my couch, but wow, I think they stopped talking. I think the orbs finally stopped for now. I should be quiet. Mod's talking now.
How's
that's
Mod
what's going on at my
doing?
house, Sarah.
You should get Mod on here. See if we can get some conversation going.
I wonder if I could. You wonder if I could like do, I don't know, because where I'm at, where she's at. Oh, now they're all talking. Oh, thanks. Hi, everybody.
I heard
don't know what
Auntie
you
on
can
the
or
phone.
cannot see. So
A little bit.
you guys got to tell me because I'm just like here.
Yeah, we can see him.
All right. So Mom's
So
over there to the right talking already. Oh, hi, Pinky.
where exactly is the place that you're going to be
I'm-
investigating?
The cemetery or the battleship?
Battleship.
Isn't it in North Carolina?
Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
it is in North Carolina right now.
Okay.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool because I haven't really been over there myself, so I don't know anything about that area. I knew a couple
I
people
heard
in the
that
past,
battleship
but
is huge, and a lot of teams have gone there and got some cool stuff out of there. So it'll be fun.
That's cool.
Fun time. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So what else are your hopes in the paranormal field, Sarah, besides growing your team, working on your empath skills? Do you have any? I'm getting
Go ahead.
really sick of the legged. It always pauses on my end, so I forget what I'm talking about, and I feel weird and just ridiculous. No, but growing in the paranormal field, besides growing your team, working on your empath skills, where else do you see yourself? Do you see yourself maybe having
your own show someday? Podcast, radio show, TV show? You have any long-term?
I want to, and that may be a possibility, but I'm growing kind of fond of Match Paracast, so I'm kind of promoting that show for right now. I do have it in mind to possibly start a show of my own. I'm not quite there yet, I don't think. So it's kind of on the back burner.
Nah, I wouldn't put it on the back burner. You do really well on these shows that you do for Paracast. So just keep on working on it. Don't throw it back there. Just work on it. You know, do what you want, what you want to do in life. You know, get your dream out there. And it looks like we got there's links being out there in the comments, everybody.
Nice, thank you, Markus.
Sarah's. Yep.
I think another reason. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was just gonna say. I think another reason why I got into the field is because I wanted to help people as well. I think that's kind of another big part.
Exactly. Helping people is definitely part of it.
Yeah. Have you ever came across there in some of the investigations that you've been on, even with other teams? Have you guys come across like anything with maybe I don't know, like demon energies, negativity, or
yes?
I'm trying to think of another word right now. I can't think of it. I'll think of it in a minute.
Energy. I've come across quite a few things. One time with one of my older crews, we went to Minnehaha Park over here in Spokane, which is a very haunted park. A lot of history behind it, and I'm not going to get into that because it's a long story. But one time we went there and we came home, and it was really weird. Like at 2:00 in the morning, bewitching hours, I kid you not, my smoke alarm started going off. And it wasn't normal for it. And we checked the batteries, put in the batteries, and it just started going off in patterns. And I'm like, what the heck is this? And this was right after my friends had dropped me off. And I'm like, okay, now I got to call them. I waited until they got home, but I called them, and they were like, ours is going off too. And I was like, really? I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And they held the phone up and I could hear theirs going off too. And I was like, okay, this has got to be something with the paranormal.
Yeah.
It was just a smoke alarm. And I'm like, nothing can technically do that unless it's smoke and everything else. And so we checked everything. And the fact that it was also going off at my friend's house just made it even more of a hot topic that we kind of enjoyed for a while because we had it happen more than once.
Yep. I know my wife was asleep one night and she had a dream that a guy was yelling at her, and then all of a sudden she woke up out of a sound sleep because the freaking smoke alarm started going off, like right as he disappeared and went through the smoke alarm through the ceiling.
Oh gosh, that would have made me like, huh? I've had my blankets taken off of me weird times. I've been actually yanked out of bed, and that one always scares me more than once. I'm like, I usually tell it to knock it off. There's just not much I can do. Huh?
Do they listen? I said, do they listen when you say that? When you say knock that off, or do they like to go
for a little bit? It hasn't happened in a while, but
okay, that's good.
Did not too long ago, I guess. But it's one of those things that it's a little hard to talk about because I know there's a few things that do follow me around, but I don't think they're attached to me, but I think they're attached to certain objects in my home, if that makes sense.
Okay. So. Yep, that does. Yeah, any type of spirits can get attached to you, to your person, to objects, to the home you land, Sometimes it's not just you as that person. It just depends on what's going on. Have you ever been, oh, hey, Brandon, I saw that you're back. Thank you. So have you ever dealt or been involved with an exorcism before by chance?
I wouldn't necessarily call it an exorcism. But I was not really a part of it per se, but I was there when a friend of mine did one on another person that he knew.
Okay.
A very touchy subject, so it is very scary. But I don't know that I would technically be a part of something like that because you're dealing with a human soul and just anything could go wrong. It's mind blowing. There's a lot of energy, good and bad, and just all over the place.
Yeah. So it looks like Kara, she wants to know, she is curious if you can tell if someone has something following them.
Yes, to a point. It just depends on if they show themselves to me. Not everything will show themselves to people or to empaths. And that's the thing, because I've always been kind of shocked about that. But not everything will show itself. They will always pretty much just show us what they want to. And that can be anything from a shadow to something like you guys always deal with, something being thrown across the room, just little things.
I'm just looking in the comments, see if there's questions. If anyone in the comments, we appreciate you coming by and joining us tonight. If you guys have questions for Sarah to learn more about her, go ahead and throw them up in the comments for us. So Sarah, Brandon wants to know is where can he find you? Are you on YouTube, TV show, or just on social media? So where can everybody find you?
Well, for my own ParaVantoase, I am on Facebook. That's pretty much where I have that group at. I do run the ParaCast TikTok, so you can find me on there. You can find me also on the Instagram for ParaCast and on Matt's show. I have a few other things with my empath channels that I do, and they're also on Facebook, which is, oh God, what did I rename it? Empath Adventures. That is one that I have, and that's basically, it was something that I put a lot of like my journaling on in the last few years, but it's gotten to be a little bit bigger, so it's basically a normal group for empaths to chat on.
Nice.
And I do have a YouTube for that as well, for the ParaCast, but I'm in the middle of changing things around. I've only got 2 subscribers. But
hey, we can get you out there. Everybody that's on here, let's get that shared out for her. Let's get her some more people to subscribe and follow, and let's get that support out there like we do for everyone. Looks like Mark Lee has a question. He says, Sarah, are you able to detect portals in homes? Are you able to close them? And what, in your opinion, opens portals? So there's
that's a good question
right there.
That is a really good question, because I have opened up a couple of portals myself without even knowing it, because when my anxiety, before I knew anything of the empath world, I was constantly all over the place, and I didn't know anything about it. And then I found out what it was, and a friend of mine had come over, and I do believe in portals, but I don't know if I believe in vortexes just quite yet. That's one that I still have to seek out. But I'm not saying it's not there, but it's just something I have to seek out. I believe that portals can be opened up from somebody being completely sad. Anxiety, out of control anxiety is a big factor there. Somebody not knowing their gifts, I think, can open them up. Also, somebody messing around with things they shouldn't be can do that. But then again, that's a big topic right there, because we all mess around with stuff we shouldn't. So.
Well, and Sarah, you're right. It is a big topic, because you got other things out there that there's like those Ouija boards, there's those drawing boards out there, which I want to use one of these days. I don't feel that they're as bad. But then you have the scrying mirrors. Yeah, then you have the scrying mirrors too. But a lot of people, they get worried about those things. But do you think if you could protect yourself and protect the board and everything around you, to apply in a Ouija board and be able to like open and communicate. Anything can come through. I know that, but also be able to close it at the same time. Would you use something like that if you could protect yourself in all those ways?
I used to say no, but over the years of working with certain people, I have changed my mind on that because it is just a tool. But again, you have to be ready for anything. I mean, a Ouija board is nothing more than an empath mind on a board.
Yep.
And I may explain things a little bit different from a lot of people, but that's kind of how I feel about it. Same with the pendulum and a few other things that we use. It's nothing more than the empath mind and different tools that we use.
So what changed your view of that? That now that you're open to using those tools?
Seeing and witnessing certain things that I had. There's some good stories and some bad stories, and I just have learned a few things of what not to do and what to do. I'm not perfect at it. Yes.
Right.
It's just been like many, it's just been a complete unbelievable journey, and some of it I can't explain very well, like I said before. But they're like, for instance, my friends and I, we used to use the Ouija board quite a bit. He was one that liked to use it, and there was just a few things that came about, and things that you would only think would happen in a movie or a TV show, and we were like, okay, that's gonna be something hard to explain because, you know, Hollywood explains things more than they should. Let's just put it that way. And this is one topic that I have a bit of a hard time talking about because of all the situations that we went through before he passed away.
I mean, talking about the good things too. I mean, you're right. It comes with a mix of emotions, a mix of everything, good, bad, and it doesn't. Sometimes it can be hard to talk about. So Kara is asking, is it true that spirits are drawn to running water? And what is it about running water that they're drawn to?
They can be drawn to running water, but I'm not exactly sure, other than the fact that, you know how dams run? They run on the water and it makes electricity. That's the only thing that I can compare it to, is that the water is basically making that electricity, which is making them come towards it and causing basically the unknown.
That they're able to draw power from the kinetic energy and stuff from the moving water.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I need to learn more about that too myself, so that's why I kind of don't know how to explain it.
Oh, and that's okay, because we're all here to learn, and there could be somebody out there listening in our show tonight that would reach out and maybe be able to help support, because we're all learning. We don't all know everything about anything in life.
Exactly.
So we have another comment from Steve. He wants to know, have you ever worked with the Warrens?
A Warren.
Warrens.
Warren.
Warrens. Warrens.
Oh, the Warrens? No, but I would love. I would love to. That has been a dream of mine, is to meet and talk to one of the Warrens. I have not quite yet technically gotten there yet. I've said hi to one, and that was about it. But that would be an experience to be able to work with them.
Well, and it would be, I think Chris is the grandson, I think, from Ed and Lorraine Warren, I think.
Yes, and if I got that chance, I would be, you'd probably see me like more giddy than I am usually. I'd be like a little schoolgirl going,
just imagine if we would have known that ahead of time, to like have someone in the back end and go, well, and here we go.
You would literally I'd be like, my mouth, I don't have a poker face. My whole face would just be like out of it.
Yeah. Nice. Hey, look
That
at
one
you,
is
Seth.
on my bucket list. Is to
Good
meet
job,
up
Marcus.
and
Throwing those links out to me.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Sarah, I did have a couple questions that I wanted to jump back on and ask you before we wrap up tonight. So one thing that I'm really curious about, what is one thing that you absolutely despise in the paranormal field?
That's a good one. The thing that I most despise is just people being angry at each other for no reason. No reason at all. We're all in this together. There's no reason to prepare a drama. Matt said it a bunch of times. You guys have said it a bunch of times. If there's a problem, deal with it, take care of it, and move on. I mean, because again, this is a hobby for a lot of us, and it's also a dream. And it's just unfair to go through things that shouldn't be there when we're all fighting for the same thing.
Right.
Yep.
Couldn't agree more.
Yep.
Sorry, getting a few more links out there for you guys.
Looks like paranormal consultant said me, LOL.
Yes.
Okay, so here is Sarah's TikTok link. You can go right in the comments and copy that, and it'll take you to her TikTok where all things Paracast are right there.
Yes, I've
also,
changed it a few times.
and the link for ParaVantoase is right here as well. You can visit that. A bunch of links in the comments right now. After the show, feel free to leave more comments and we will review them. If you have questions after the show that you did not have a chance to ask Sarah, you can reach out to us and we'll reach out to her, or directly reach out to Sarah and she'd love to answer your questions. Sarah, I did have one more question for you, and that is, what is one thing that you would tell a skeptic of paranormal? What is your
do you want the
advice
honest truth,
for a
or do you want?
Be completely honest. This is, I'm asking for your complete honesty. What you would suggest to a skeptic?
Well, I've actually told one not to be such a butthead. And I've said a few other words, but we'll just put it butthead is the key word
we'll
right
keep
there.
It clean, or else we'll all be grounded when you say enter. Lurker. Oh my God, you are hilarious.
He ain't wrong.
Hot links. Click on those hot links.
He's not wrong. Click on those links.
Goes along with the Wonder Bread.
Right? Are we seriously going to go down that road right now?
No.
Sarah, we want to get you laughing on here and show your laugh side and your fun side. Do we really need to go down that road?
No, you can go on TikTok and find out my fun side. There's a lot of funny things on there and dorky things on there.
Oh, that's okay.
But I think it would have to be basically to go out there and seek it before you say stuff, because there's been a lot of evidence over the years that prove that there are things that are unknown in the spirit world. And basically that, not to be a butthead about it. I've had
you can just send a skeptic to my house. I'll change your mind really quick.
Stick mod on him.
You just seen it earlier. So earlier, besides all my freaking dolls that won't stop talking right now, the crap is insane. I go down to the laundry room. I come out of the laundry room and 3 lights were flickering while I walked down the hallway. I was like, what the fuck? I sat there and stood in the hallway and I go, do we really have to do this right now? The next light by my apartment goes flicker, flicker. And I was like, oh my God. And I come in and I got my activity going on. So send them to me. I'll change your mind a little bit.
Right.
Yep. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. But Sarah, do you have any questions for the hunters? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry,
Cara
Cara.
has a question.
Cara has a question.
Biggest learning experience? There's quite a few actually. But I think the biggest one is to trust, really, really got to know and trust the people that you're working with out on the field, especially with your belongings and everything else, because you just never know unless they're like really, really close to you. The other is basically it's just not understanding that the unknown is going to be right around the corner. Because I've had so many different things happen. It's hard to explain.
That the unknown's the unknown. You don't ever know exactly what you're going to run into or what you're going to walk into.
Yeah.
You know, so we're talking about tonight the trust of a team, right? So we've heard that kind of tonight. So Sarah, in your thoughts and words, what do you think if you don't trust your team, what could happen on an investigation? If that trust is not there.
You know, it all depends on the energy. Odd things can happen. You could get things that you don't want attached to you. But I think the biggest part is just the friendship based with your teams. If you don't have that, then you're not going to go out there and perform very well, and you're not going to get certain evidence that you want to get, especially if somebody disagrees with somebody, because that can bring motives and other things could be done, and just bizarre things can go on. I've had everything from fake evidence to just everything. Fake evidence to people not understanding that what a certain type of spirit is, or not understanding the person that you are interviewing. And also on that topic, if you're going to be blessing houses and you have a partner in that too, make sure that partner is aware of what you want to do, because they can screw it up just as much as you trying to make it better.
Exactly.
Yep.
Love it. Sarah, you have some phenomenal answers to these questions.
Absolutely.
Really well. Well, let's see if you have any questions. You got any questions for us?
How long have you guys been a team?
Well, Minnesota Spirit Hunters came about in August of 2020.
29 years.
I'm not even 29 years old. So.
I feel old.
Young pup in here.
I'm 38.
That's literally all of our members, except for Lisa's daughter, is older than me. So, wow. And then Kendra is younger than me. So I'm like one of the youngest.
Youngest.
Yeah, our all-time youngest is Raina. So
looks like we have a possible final question, Markus, too.
All right. Well, not that one. What's your favorite part about being a co-host on the ParaCast?
I love it. I love all of it. And I especially love the jokes behind the scenes. I think that's what I don't know. It's just.
You mean like the Coca-Cola?
Yes. It's an experience of a lifetime. Yeah, don't make me squeak.
Oh my god. She's gonna go.
I know, I'm gonna blow him up now. But I enjoy it a lot. I think the best part of it is just like I said before, the friendships that are based on the show, from not only just Matt and Lurker, but you guys and the guests that come on. I don't know if we want to explain that on Marcus's show tonight.
Fully explain. You heard the man. We don't care about your favorite. We care about the one that we talked about the other day.
Luna, put your butt down.
Oh, you know what, Matt? What would we do without
You gotta have fun.
Exactly.
You
You
gotta
gotta
have
have fun. And that's what
Exactly.
these shows should be all about, is fun and getting to know what
You know,
you're doing.
that's absolutely the reason I love doing the Minnesota SpiritCast, because it gives me a chance to get out of investigation mode, still be in my paranormal mode, but it gives me a chance to get to know new people, and it also gives me a chance to unwind, be myself, but have the business side. Like, I'm the founder of Minnesota Spirit Hunters vibe, and then it gives me a chance to kind of open up and just be Markus for an hour or so, you know,
Exactly.
and not just be all about paranormal or all about business. So that's why I love doing the show.
Yep.
Honestly, I think doing the show is a lot of fun because, you know, yeah, you talk about serious stuff, but then you also have moments, you know, where everybody's laughing, you know, at each other too.
Exactly. And you gotta have fun doing it.
I have a question for Matt.
Uh-oh.
What is your favorite Coke flavor? And please fully explain.
Oh God.
I'm not sure.
Not Coca-Cola, it's Dr. Thunder.
I have to
Don't
really
beat around the bush, sir.
I have to think about that.
And my apologies to any of my aunts that might be listening.
Hey, you've been doing just fine tonight.
You've been doing great. It
No,
was
I-
a great show. Honestly, I really liked the show. I can't wait to have you back in season 3. Matt, you were awesome with kind of being in the comments and helping us out on that end. And, you know, Lisa, as always, it's an honor to be next to you and be a host with you. Brandon, you as well. You've been my co-host quite often recently, and you know, I look at you like I look at Sarah, like you two are both building up confidence to be on camera. So it's really awesome, because on the field, Brandon, you're behind the camera. This gives you an opportunity to get your face out here and also be on camera. So that's the beautiful part about this show.
Oh, Marcus, can we turn Brandon into a Kareem? I don't think he could, though, because I don't think he really gets that scared.
Yes.
Into a what?
Scooby 2.0.
Scooby 2.0.
Yep. Do you think we could do it?
But I
think so.
Except I'm not the type that's just going to jump into Shaggy's arms.
Can I ask, who is Shaggy? Maybe this guy?
Yes,
yeah.
there you go.
yeah, I was gonna
No, I
say,
didn't
Jason.
know he was Shaggy.
Who is
So we have a
our Shaggy
comment
then?
there. It says, Kara said that she enjoys Brandon's face. So it must be pretty good.
They're all taking their turn on picking on me.
Wasn't me.
But it's all in love.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have
But
fun.
All right,
have
guys.
fun.
Well,
I just wanted to hop on real quick, guys, just to say it was a great show. My apologies. I had to jump off. I had to go deal with something.
You're okay.
But, we're basically packed, ready to go. Going to bed for like, what, 4 hours, ladies? Like only 4 hours. And then hitting the road. But Marcus, Minnesota, all you guys are awesome. I, care about you guys. You're all family to me. Squeekers, like I said earlier, you've been a blessing on the ParaCast. I can't do the show without you and Lurker. You guys are awesome. And Marcus, I want to say definitely, guys. Okay, then. I want to say, I really appreciate giving Squeakers an opportunity to be showcased and highlighted, because she definitely deserves it.
she does.
Thank you, guys.
Don't make her cry.
I
please.
appreciate it. I
Absolutely.
the beginning of the year, I was so sick, I missed out on a few things, and I apologize for that. But I'm back and ready to go full force on things. And
I think a lot of us
no
had a
more
crap
jokes on that.
January.
Well, you're no fun. And I will say, Marcus, if I can give myself a little plug here. Well, Squeaker's a little plug. It's her show. But Friday for the investigation, she will be hosting the ParaCast, basically all night, both shows.
Yep.
Oh,
I'm gonna
already
be
talked
slurping down the
about
coffee like mad. Yeah, by the end of the night, you might see me really buzzed on caffeine.
Slurping down the Coke.
No, I've got Dr. Thunder though.
Well, I'll be
Oh, is that
joining,
what it is
once
now?
I'm done doing game streaming, I'll jump on to the, I think it's the 5 o'clock one for you guys, Ken. I'll message, I'll go in the comments and let you know when I'm available. So that way we're just gonna have it's gonna be an awesome night. It's gonna be fun.
Absolutely. And Mark and actually,
Especially
Brand,
watching that.
if you can, message me after, especially you, Marcus. I've been trying to get a hold of you.
Yeah, a lot going on. So,
Oh, I know. But anyway, guys, have a great night. Much appreciated, y'all.
Thank you. Be safe on those roads tomorrow.
You're no fun.
I didn't think enough fun. I just said be safe. Don't let Karen hear you.
Anyway,
Drive
night, guys.
safely. Drive safely.
we'll see you later. All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, we're gonna have to wrap her up here. But Sarah, you were an absolute pleasure to have on as our guest tonight. I can't wait to have you back on here. It was a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I look forward to meeting you guys in person down here at some point this year.
Well,
Maybe we can plan that for the summer.
Which reminds me, September 26th and 7th is Para Unity Day, and I actually was wondering if we were going to run into you there.
I want to go, but I don't know that I can afford it. Because if I go, I won't fly. I'm afraid of heights. But,
So is my wife, Cara, so I don't know exactly how we're going to get there yet either.
You can do it.
Nope. I have to be stuck drunk in order to get me on a plane. Nope.
Well, here I tell you, anxiety med and diamond. What is it?
Para
Diamond
Unity
green
Day.
or whatever it is. You can do it. You guys can do it.
Plus, I've never really traveled on my
and
own
you can
before,
fly.
so I don't know if I would be able to make it or not. I want to though, because I want to
We'll
see
get you some.
everybody.
Cara said, "Pop some Valium."
I don't know if the plane would handle that or not.
We'll get everybody some. How about that?
That works. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap her up
Well,
here.
that
Sarah.
Dramamine, couple cold mixes, you'll be good.
Just a couple. And a Valium.
Yeah.
And Lisa is delayed again.
All right, guys. Well, Sarah, you've been phenomenal. Brandon and Lisa, you guys have been amazing. I do thank you guys for coming on and being my co-host, and Sarah for being my guest tonight. So
thank you.
It was a lot of fun. And I look forward to next time.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, you three have yourselves a great night. And Brandon and Lisa, we'll see you guys this weekend.
Thank you.
Everybody, don't forget that we have a brand new episode of Minnesota Spirit Hunters coming out at 7 p.m. Central Time on Saturday. March 12th.
I'll have to check that out.
It's going to be great. It's going to be on ParaPost Network and Minnesota Spirit Hunters Facebook Saturday, and then it'll be streaming live on YouTube on Sunday at the same time. So, you'll have a chance to view it. So it's going to be a great episode, and I definitely look forward to premiering this. Yeah. But in the meantime, Lisa, Brandon, I'll see you guys in person this weekend. Sarah, we'll talk eventually. We'll talk soon. But thank you for coming on, and Lisa and Brandon, thank you very much. I will talk to you guys later.
Talk to you later.
Thank you.
All right, everybody.
Good night, guys.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Well, this was an amazing show. Sarah is definitely an amazing guest. Definitely look forward to chatting with her again. Catch our episode this weekend, Saturday, 7 p.m. And don't forget that you can use code MNSH on discos.com for 10% off. Until next time, next week, 9 p.m. Central Time, Liz Milne, I think that's how you say your name. Don't want to butcher it, but we have her next week. Huge paranormal supporter. So that's going to be a lot of fun to talk to her. But we'll see you guys next week, Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central Time with Liz herself. So until then, have a good night and happy hunting.
This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.